have tons of money. But these other actors and actresses on sitcoms, a lot of them, they don't make as much money as you think. She and Harry, and she tried to do a boutique. She tried to do a workout videos. She did QVC. I mean, she really like it wasn't until Housewives until they really started making money to the point, like she said, I don't know, 4 seasons in, Harry never has to work again. I mean, I would sit there and say to her, okay, tell me who's your business manager now? How many businesses did you try and fail at before you got to where you are? Are you confident about Harry's sauce and the margin? Like I now love the business
Lena Rip
aspect of
Kit.
it.
She had the Lena Rip kits,
The
Lena
lip
kits
kits,
with
what
her.
happened to those? Are those still out?
Those
Yeah.
are still out.
Okay.
I mean, no, I mean, I should have. We didn't get to that. I mean, I love to talk business,
I
but
know. You like more of the show.
well, no, I mean, I love talking business, but it's like, I mean, I didn't even think of it. I was just like, so I said, like, look, you're doing it right. I mean, literally, it was me giving her advice. She's probably like, who the fuck are you? I'm like, you're doing it right. I say this all the time on the podcast. I do think it's pathetic if you don't have a podcast or you're making money. I think these housewives that sit there and talk about housewives a year later, it was a moment. I said, you're doing it right. I said, you don't talk about housewives. She's like, nor will I. I said, she's like, in an interview, someone asked me a question, one question. I said, I know, I've always said this. I said, you're out there, you're not sitting there talking, you have reinvented yourself. She's like, David, first of all, I love when Lisa Rinna is using my name. She's like, David, I am having so much fun. I am having the time. She just did another photo shoot the other day. I was like, oh my God. And then she said, listen,
Sure. No stress. Yeah.
she said, I will never, ever, 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 ever go back. Now I said, like, you think I meet these people and I become a little wallflower? No, I said, come on now, Lisa. Come on. Really? Really? You're not going
No.
to, and she said, listen, yeah, for a certain amount of money. But she's like, trust me, they would never, ever be able to pay that amount of money. It's probably like a $5 million, like Bethany.
It's like a Bethany. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, you've got to get paid a lot for that.
And
Um,
she's like, and she said, and I said, well, I'm sure Harry wouldn't be thrilled about that. She said, Harry Hamlin, who was like literally right there, would kill me if I went back to Housewives. That is correct. Thank you. And I was just like, ah. Then we talked about, because like Heather Locklear, Daphne Zuniga, who was on this podcast, and Laura Layton are shopping the Melrose
Reboot
reboot. And we
will
talked about
happen.
that podcast. I don't think it's going to happen.
Really?
She didn't really seem to think so either.
They've redone everything else. Aren't they getting ready to redo Baywatch? I mean, they've redone Magnum PI. I mean, give me a break. They're not going to redo Melrose. They have no new ideas.
Okay, first of all, they've already redone Melrose back in the 90s. Ashley Simpson was on it. Not a great hit.
Whoops.
I am dying for Melrose, and the Melrose fans are dying for Melrose, but I don't think that the majority, I mean, they tried with 90210 again. I don't think it's going to happen. She goes, I said, Lisa, I don't think it's going to happen either. No offense to them. Then we talked about the Melrose podcast. There were some other things she said, just like my night out with PK, that I don't think I should repeat on air. I actually am a trustworthy person. If you say it to my face, there's some things I just don't think I should repeat. But I am a huge fan. I really felt it was an authentic chat. Like I don't like you. I get what you say. Not looking through me. Not like, oh, let's give canned answers. Just like a real. She's like, well, you know how this works, and it's not easy. And it was. I said, I know how it. Yeah, that's I mean, I could have told her and Denise that my dream in life. Listen, do you want to know my dream in life?
What is that?
Forget this mommy Mina stuff. It was great. There needs to be a movie on Lifetime that seems to want to hire Nene and Bethany and all the others. There needs to be a movie starring Lisa Rinna and Denise Richards. Someone needs to write the fucking script, and they need to have Lisa Rinna in mind for one part and Denise for the other part. That is what I want to see. I want a Denise. I am convinced that it is not. Oh, we talked about Crystal and Cynthia's podcast.
Oh, what?
I'll just keep
Gonna
those
be
at
Is
these.
she gonna be listening?
But no. But oh, we also talked about 2Ts. She said, you do it so right, your podcast. I said, look, it's very hard. Most don't. And I said, 2Ts. is the real
Yeah,
deal.
Melon Ball, we've given Teodoro is like a genius in the podcasting world. We give it up to Teodoro. I mean, I don't know, maybe it's the rat that's the
Let me
podcast.
tell you something. And you know what? And what they do
Then
is,
we have
and
to go.
listen, we'll go. You and I have a lot of ideas for podcasts. Anybody that has a successful podcast out there, anybody starting a new podcast, a second podcast is the dumbest fucking idea you can ever do. Now, Teddy, and we listen, you and I have some things we're working on, darling. Sarah and I have a whole business model for podcasting. You just put it on your own feed. And that is what Teodoro has done. She has, I might add a third show, a third afternoon show a week. The kids want me to. But Teodoro, with all her spin-off shows, that's what you do. If Teodoro took the husbands, her husband and the rat's husband, and that was a separate podcast on a separate feed, it would not do well and nobody would listen. You put it on your own. So Teodoro, so I said, we talked more about Tamara. She's like, they do it. So I'm like, they should talk about housewives because they get paid. Real, all the others. But she was lovely. I have nothing but good things to say. I felt it was authentic. And she never wants to come back. But I want a Denise Rinna movie, like cast the parts,
Oh,
put Rinna in a part.
did those two speak, Denise and Rinna, when they were there? Did they
You
speak?
know, it's like that's forget
What?
about this. Forget about your business shit. That's what I wish I asked. Just like, look, I'm sure she's fine with Denise. They're two working at, I mean, she's fine with Kathy Hilton, right? They're two working actresses in Hollywood that are, around the same age. And I don't really think they're going for the exact same parts, but I mean, it's not like they're in the same circles ish in the business. So I'm hoping for a reconciliation between Brenna and Denise. And I want Aaron, Denise, Harry, and
I know.
Lisa to go out for dinner.
I still gotta subscribe to Denise's OnlyFans. I gotta
Me
do a
too.
whole series of like Bravo and TLC people on OnlyFans and rate their junk.
And I met her the day before, and Denise was a little confused with my humor. So I don't know. Like, it was like like it's, with a celebrity convention, you have all your pictures out. So like Denise has, Wild Things and Starship Troopers. So I made a joke of like, well, now, Denise, I was hoping to see like a season 9, season 10 Beverly Hills picture here. Not that I wasn't getting an autograph. I'm not into autographs. And she didn't get my humor. Like I was making a joke of like, well, that's probably something. So then I had to explain myself because I think she thought I was being rude. And I was like, I wasn't being rude. I was like, she didn't get mad. I was just like, and she's like, oh, I didn't understand what you were saying. And I said, like, oh, I was making a joke, like, you don't have any Beverly Hills pictures out because you want to forget that. Most people here are not even here. And she's like, I had a great time. So apparently Denise had a great experience on Beverly Hills,
Oh,
even the upside down code and all. So there you go. Lovely too.
content.
No shade to Denise Richards, but when you meet Lisa, well, I've met Lisa in the past, but like, when you're in the presence of Brenna and Denise back to back, I mean,
Oof,
there's only one person you need to talk
icon.
about. Love Lisa Rinna. There you go. I
All
don't
right.
know. I'm sorry I've rambled on, you guys. I'm
No,
sorry.
it's everybody wants to hear it. We have a lot though to get to next
Mhm.
episode. I mean, Kyle and Morgan in South Africa,
Oh,
darling. I mean,
oh my God.
oh, what in the world? We have a Southern Charm star that passed. We need to discuss.
Mhm.
Todd Chrisley has been fired from his jail job. I mean, we really have. And the Manzos. Carolyn Manzo, a lot of people just realizing, a lot of people calling the Manzo family complete scumbags this week. We'll tell you why.
I mean, yeah, where have you been? I think,
Really?
yeah.
I didn't I kind of knew this, but I'm actually shocked that the rest of the world, I guess, is figuring this out now. And then I'm kind of like, wow, I can't believe they've kept Carolyn employed. Like NBC is savage. They really just don't
They
care.
don't
You
care.
can make them money, they'll just put anybody on air. I mean, I'm not blaming them. I feel like our future projects will be doing the same. But
Give
but
us money. And
no network really has ethical standards, but
as much as I hate
those.
doing something, if there's a certain amount of money in it and it's work, I will do it. I will stay. I mean, hating it and making a dollar, no, thank you. We gotta go, but we have a lot to talk about next season. I mean, next episode tomorrow, darling.